Hello and welcome to In Song and Story number 17. Thank you so much for joining me. It is July the 15th, 2020, tax day here in America. They deferred the taxes from April the 15th to July the 15th. I missed both. There you go. The pandemic rages on. Who would have thought in the middle of the summer we would be stuck right in the middle of this thing? Unbelievable. I fully expected to be back in Ireland with our tour groups at this point in time, but everybody's doing the best that they can, and I pray and hope you stay safe out there. Let's see what the rest of the year brings to us. On tonight's episode, 3 songs, 2 Irish songs and 1 kind of contemporary song written by an Irishman. So let's get to it. The first song was written by Peadar Kearney. It's a song called Down By The Glenside, also known under the title The Bold Fenian Men. And the Fenians were an organisation whose origin dates back to the 1790s in Ireland, and they would use any means necessary to gain or to achieve their goals, which was freedom of Ireland, violence, anything at all. The first chapter of the Fenians in America started off in 1858, and they were very supportive to the Fenian Brotherhood back in Ireland, both materialistically and financially, as were the chapters in England. Anyway, the Fenians here in America contrived to invade Canada, capture Canada, and hold Canada to ransom, and blackmail the British government in setting Ireland free. Ingenious kind of stuff. You can read about them on Google. But the Fenians, the name comes from Irish mythology. They were a group of warriors known as the Fianna, and they were led by a man almost of superhero characteristics, Finn McCool and the Fianna. And you can read about them. I guess you can Google them. They're in books. We read about them when we were growing up in Ireland. The Fenians would have been the forerunners to the IRB of the early 1900s, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and that morphed then into the Irish Republican Army. Peadar Kearney, who wrote the song, also in the early 1900s wrote a song called Aran na Bhíon, which is the Irish national anthem. He was born in Dublin in the 1880s, and he was a political activist, also one of the co-founders of the Irish Volunteers in 1913, and he was an uncle to the Behan brothers, Brendan and Dominic Behan, also from Dublin, great literary characters. The song shows up in the movie Rio Grande, which was released in 1950, and it was the third in the John Ford trilogy, the Cavalry trilogy, or trilogy of cavalry movies, featuring John Wayne and in this case Maureen O'Hara, and the actor-singer Ken Curtis, along with the Sons of the Pioneers, sang this song to Maureen O'Hara's character, Mrs. York, in the movie. The woman in the song may well be Mother Ireland herself. 'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman, a plucking young nettles. Nor saw I was coming, I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory O, to the bold Fenian men. 'Tis 16 long years since I've seen the moon beaming on brave manly forms, and their eyes were heart gleaming. I see them all now, sure in all my day dreaming. Glory O, to the bold Fenian men. Some died by the hillside, some died midst a stranger, and wise men have judged that their cause was a failure, but they fought for old Ireland and never knew danger. Glory oh, to the bold Fenian men. I passed on my way, thanks to God that I met her. Be life long or short, sure I'll never forget her. There have been brave men, but there'll never be better. Glory oh, to the bold Fenian men. 'Twas down by the Glenside I met an old woman, plucking young nettles, nor saw I was coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory oh, to the bold Fenian men. The bold Fenian men. From the songwriting of the great Peter Kearney. So this song is a more contemporary song. Was the big hit for the writer of the song, Gilbert O'Sullivan, in 1972, a worldwide hit. And Gilbert O'Sullivan was born Raymond O'Sullivan in Waterford in Ireland. His family moved over to England when he was young, somewhere around maybe 10 or 11. And he's a great songwriter. I saw an interview with him recently whereby the interviewer talked about this song, and Mr. O'Sullivan said it was not an autobiographical song at all, but you know, just a song that he wrote. His mother is still alive, or was at the time of the interview, and Gilbert himself is still touring. So I played this song only once before, and it was in Kevin Barry's Irish pub here in Savannah some years ago on a Monday night when I had gotten rid of everybody, so to speak. They had had enough of me, you know, and I decided to try something new, so I tried this. And sometimes on nights like that, you can do a kind of half decent job of these songs. Then you wish, I wish there was somebody here. But with this song on that night, that wasn't the case, and I made a mess of it. And I've made a mess of it earlier on today. I tried it a couple of times. And this is the first time I'm going to use glasses. I only use them to see. What do? It's getting an age in life, you know. But I love the song. Before we do this, I'll offer you a toast. Cheers. God bless you, one and all. Thanks for tuning in and joining me. So, Spare Glory are on. Here we go. In a little while from now, if I'm not fading any less sound, I promise myself to treat myself and visit a nearby tower, and climbing to the top would throw myself off in an effort to make it clear to whoever what it's like when you're shattered, left standing in the lurch at a church where people are saying, my God, that's tough, she stood him up, no point in us remaining, we may as well go home, as I did on my own, alone again, naturally. To think that only yesterday I was cheerful, bright and gay, looking forward to, but it wouldn't do, the role I was about to play, and as if to knock me down, reality came around and without so much as a mere touch, cut me into little pieces, leaving me to talk about God and His mercy, who, if He really does exist, then why did He desert me in my hour of need? I truly am indeed alone again, naturally. Seems to me that there are more hearts broken in the world that can't be mended, left unattended. What do we do? What do we do? Alone again, naturally. Now looking back over the years at whatever else that appears, I remember I cried when my father died, never wishing to hide the tears. And at 65 years old, my mother, God rest her soul, couldn't understand why the only man she had ever loved had been taken, leaving her to start with a heart so badly broken. Despite encouragement from me, no words were ever spoken. And when she passed away, I cried and cried all day, alone again, naturally. Alone again, naturally. Alone again, naturally, with respects. Hope it wasn't too bad. Let me finish off with a song that is really a popular song at home. It's become synonymous with Dublin. But the song is called Dirty Old Town, and it was written in 1949 by Ewan MacColl, who was born in Salford in England. Salford is part of the greater Manchester area in Lancashire in England. He wrote the song about his hometown, and Ewan MacColl's given name at birth is James Henry Miller. He died in 1989. The song was recorded in 1968 by the Dubliners, and it was a huge hit, and that's the reason it's become synonymous with Dublin. And it's also been recorded by Rod Stewart and Roger Whittaker. And in the 90s, in 1992, I think the World Tour 1992, the song was played regularly on tour by U2. So there you go. Thank you for joining me. This is the last song. I'll be here again doing the same thing next week. Thank you for your comments. You've been very, very kind. We'll keep doing it as long as we keep doing it. I met my love by the gas yard wall, dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Spring's a girl on the street at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I heard a siren from the docks, saw a train set the night on fire. I smell spring on the smoky wind. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I'm gonna take the butcher's axe, shining steel, tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like a dead old tree. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town. I met my love by the gaslight wall, dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl down by the factory wall. Dirty old town, 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 dirty old town. Dirty Old Town, written by Hugh McCall. Thank you very much, good night, and God bless.